Hello, today is the 10th of August 2012, and this will be a gold video. But before we get into the daily and weekly charts of gold, I want to go over a quick little question, a multiple choice question, so let's get started. On Thursday, Chris purchased 5,649 lottery tickets for Saturday's draw. Since this point, Chris has made many plans, which include paying off all debts that are outstanding as well as looking for real estate in Canada. By Friday evening, Chris has a full book written on plans that will be made of the things that will be done within the $25 million prize. Chris is best described as A. He is a riverboat gambler. B. Chris is a top calculated investor. C. Chris is a prepper. D. Chris loves to write novels. So let's go through the answers one by one, starting with the first wrong answer, which would be that is Chris is a top calculated investor. For this is the most obvious wrong answer. Quite frankly, if you're buying lottery tickets and you're doing the calculations, then you know not to play. Or maybe spend $1, $2, or $3. If you don't care, you lose. Big deal. The odds of winning a 649 lottery are almost 14 million in one, which means with 5,000 tickets, they're almost 14 million in 5,000. The odds are not good, and 14 million in 5,000 would translate into almost 2,800 in one. So not some good calculations. In fact, is he a riverboat gambler? Well, Chris can be a female name as well. So we don't even know the odds that this person's a he. Can't say that. So Chris is either a prepper or loves to write novels. Wrote a book, but we don't know any other information. Maybe that's the only stuff he likes to or she likes to write. So therefore, Chris would be that of a prepper, preparing for what would happen within winning the lottery. Now, it might not be the best thing to prepare for, just like you may not want to prepare for a snowstorm in the middle of California, Mexico, Louisiana, Arizona, or southern Florida, because that'll just never happen. But if you are preparing for things like a fiat currency collapse, whether it take 1, 2, 5, 10, 20 years, then you're preparing for what on a calculated level is probable. Let's look at the charts now for gold. We'll start within the daily chart. And the 1623 level, which has been talked about for quite some time, has now had 1, 2, 3, 4, and today is test number 5. The lows on each test have a set right here for 1. And then we had barely a lower low. And then we barely had a higher low. Then another higher low. And I suppose we can come down to maybe 1600, 1596, make another higher low, maybe have test number 6. And I don't know, it's been a lot of tests. It's looking good right now as it states. And there's even a descent ascending triangle. This is the first support line. And it's a huge level because it connects 5 different points. Sort of like this connects 5 points. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now, the last touch didn't come down to this line, so we have what is a higher rate of ascent. So for now, that's the level, and maybe even this, as we see that even today's bottom didn't hit that line either. And this is overall a very bullish scenario, but it's still got to have a clear break above this level of not even doing it, but the odds in which that it does it is getting better and better. And well, the next target is that of 1685. I think what would be most expected is if silver, or when silver hits that 30 mark, then gold will most likely match it at 1685. So something to look for. It seems as if it's not that probable, but don't be surprised as Fibonacci retracement has weird ways of working. Finally, the weekly chart. And the weekly chart is a Fibonacci level that I've been looking at for pretty much a year now. This is a straight line. It's really hard to do a descending triangle because this one broke. And I guess this one's still in play. But Still has to really get above this level for the first mark, and a hold above here, then watch out for this thing to really get going. Break down below this level, I'll be looking for support on the low 1400s, high 1300s as support levels. I will be very bullish coming up here. I'll be very bullish on a break above here. If you are waiting for either or, I wouldn't be surprised to just do nothing. If you're buying every so often, then you're getting in correctionary phases. In fact, a lot of times, I'm not a big fan of buying on strength, although there's many times I think that's to be the case. I would rather buy after or during a correction. So therefore, if you want to know what a correction looks like, there we have it. We're close to the bottom end of the current correction. Again, it could go down to 14. But if you're waiting for one, well, there your wait's done, basically. And that will be it for today's video, and most likely for the weekend as well. The last 2 weekends I didn't do a video. This should be the third straight weekend in a row for that to be the case. I'd like to thank you all for tuning in. Look forward to reading your comments below. Have yourself a great weekend. Take care, and bye-bye.